We get our first look at the Mortal Kombat 7-inch scale articulated Spawn figure from McFarlane Toys, more Hasbro Marvel Legend rumors, NECA shows off their second wave of Turtles in Time Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, and more 4-inch DC figures from Spin Master. All that and more in today's news video, so let's jump in. You action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. Now we've got a lot of news to cover today, but before we get into that, I've just got a couple of quick reminders. So the first one is actually not a reminder, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I have lined up my next guest for my next interview. You know, I've kicked off the interview series where I interview folks from the toy industry. So far, I've interviewed Todd McFarlane was the first one, and then Jerry Macaluso from Soda Toys and Pop Culture Shock was the second one. And for my third guest, and this video should be coming out next week sometime, but for my third guest, it's going to be David Vonner, which many of you are probably familiar with. Now, right now, he currently works at Mattel on their WWE line. So I'll be talking a little bit about that, as well as his previous work at Hasbro, where he was probably the driving force behind the original 4-inch Marvel Universe line. And then before that, he worked at Toy Biz working on Marvel Legends. So I'm going to be discussing all those things with him. And if you have any questions that you would like me to try and incorporate in the interview, please post them in the comments section below, and I will try and get to some of them. Now for WWE, just a heads up, he's not going to be able to talk a lot about things that have not already been announced or, shown. So don't ask if such and such figure is going to be done or what have you. But if you've got questions about, what he thinks about working on WWE or things like that, or any of the lines that he's worked on, let me know in the comments section below. Okay, and then the other two quick updates I have for you is just my normal update about thinking about signing up for the TNI newsletter if you haven't already. It's a great way to keep up with the latest headlines as we get closer and closer to Toy Fair. There's going to be more news coming at you at a fast pace, and it's essentially we're sending the news to you. So I have a link to where you go to sign up. You just add your email to the list, essentially. Takes seconds, and if you ever decide you want to unsubscribe, all you've got to do is hit a button and you'll no longer get the email or the newsletter. So hopefully that is something you consider doing. Roughly about 10,000 people are watching this video. I realize not everybody is going to sign up, but again, it's something, not only, it helps you get the news, it also is just a way to help support the site so that you can keep in tune with everything that's going on there as well. And then the final update is just to let you know that we've kicked off on both Toy News International and Marvelous News, new $100 store credit contest, a Big Bad Toy Store. We do this every month, and the newest one just launched yesterday, and I have links to both of those contests in the video description below. Okay, so let's go on and jump into the news. As I said, I've got a lot of things I want to share with you today, some pretty big announcements or big reveals. But before we get into that, I wanted to just update you on a couple things I talked about previously. So this first one, I believe it was my last regular news video last week where I shared the unpainted prototype head sculpts from this upcoming Ace Ventura figure from NECA Toys. We didn't have a lot of details other than the head sculpts, but now we know that those head sculpts belong to this new 8-inch retro style Ace Ventura figure. So it is an 8-inch figure with the cloth goods and everything. And this one is based on his appearance at the Shady Acres. I think it was a retirement home, and he's wearing the tutu. I remember him vaguely jumping around in the tutu. So you get the two head sculpts, the tutu and such. This figure is available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. And if you're a big fan of Ace Ventura or Jim Carrey, this might be one you want to check out. Also, real quick, for McFarlane Toys and their DC Multiverse line. So last week, I think it was last week, is so much news that's been coming out, it's hard to keep track. But I recently told you how a listing had shown up in the Walmart website for a Multiverse Arkham Joker figure. There were two Wonder Woman figures not related to the Arkham game, but the Joker was kind of the cool one, I thought. And besides that, it turns out there is a Batman figure listed on the website as well. I think it was on there originally, but I missed it. So I just wanted to let you know. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. If they're going to do Arkham video game figures, obviously they're going to do Batman, so I don't think it's surprising to anybody. But I just wanted to let you know, besides Joker, it looks like they're also doing a Batman figure. And that one, even though no images or anything have yet been made available, it is currently listed on the Walmart website. Jumping back to NECA Toys, just this week they released a new updated image for their upcoming 8-inch Iron Maiden Pharaoh Eddie figure. So this figure's been up for pre-order for a bit, but they released this new, more kind of finalized image. And if you're a big Iron Maiden fan, this is probably one you're going to want to check out. And again, this figure is available for pre-order now. And then finally, on the NECA Toys front for news today, I have for you, they just yesterday released official images for their second wave of 7-inch scale Turtles in Time action figures. So these are the video game digitized figures that are being released online. So this wave is currently available for pre-order, again, from places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. I think I won't swear that there won't be any physical stores that carry these, but I think this is primarily an online deal. And again, and for the most part, these seem to be just repainted figures of like the Target store exclusive versions, only again, they have the more brighter digitized video game type paint applications on them. You also get some additional accessories like surfboards and stuff that you see, or jet boards, whatever you call them, that you saw in the video games. So these figures are technically based on the Turtles in Time video game. And for the second wave, we're going to be getting Michelangelo, Raphael, Leatherhead, and what they're calling Super Shredder. So probably the coolest one here, which is actually, you know, a new figure, which is also coming to the Target line, or a regular, more animated version is coming to the Target exclusive line, is the Leatherhead figure. And these are slated to be released in May of this year. The first wave is just about to start shipping, I believe. So, and again, those are up for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store as well. But if you want to go on and secure the second wave, again, you can go on and pre-order them now. Now, this next bit of news might not be super new. It kind of slipped past me. At least I don't think I've talked about these before, but I noticed that Big Bad Toy Store had recently put these up for pre-order. So these figures, the Naruto figures, these are 6-inch scale figures coming from Bandai America, kind of like their older Power Ranger figures and Dragon Star figures for Dragon Ball that they've done. So they're not high end like the SH Figure Art stuff or what have you. But, you know, they cost about 20 bucks, have about 20 points of articulation. Each figure comes with limited accessories. So, again, the first wave is currently up for pre-order and will be out in February or March timeframe. And, you know, if you're a fan of Naruto, the first wave has 3 figures in them. So if you're a fan of that property, you might want to check these out. They list them as 6-inch, but usually these tend to be more like 6.5-inch. That's what the other, you know, the Dragon Stars and the Power Ranger figures that Bandai America had previously done. So I want to say these are probably going to be a little bit taller than straight up 6-inch, but I might be wrong, because again, that is what they're listing them on Big Bad Toy Store as 6-inch figures. For you fans of the new 4-inch DC comic figures from Spin Master, we got some more figure reveals for that line. And whether you like these figures or not, you know, and I think they're actually pretty good. I mean, again, these are primarily made for the kids, not the collector, but overall, you know, I don't think they're bad figures. And I've seen some people say they like them, and some people think they look like Happy Meal toys, so I don't know. I think they're pretty good overall. But we got some additional figure reveals, and, you know, like I was saying, whether you like these figures or not, I do have to give Spin Master some credit for kind of going right out the gate deep on the character list. You know, they're not just giving us Superman and Batman. They're certainly giving us plenty of Superman, Batman, but they're mixing in more obscure characters as well. So for the 2-packs, they're doing these battle 2-packs, and I've previously talked about 2 of these with the Darkseid and the Superman, and then the Aquaman and the Black Manta, which we're actually getting a better look at with these new images. But also we're getting Flash and Gorilla Grodd, so that one's kind of cool to me. And I don't know where these images originated. Obviously, they're solicited, maybe from previews or something like that. I don't know, but these showed up on social media, so I'm not sure who the original person who posted these were. But again, we got those 2-packs coming, and then also some new single pack figures, and probably the coolest one. Most of these, you know, we've seen before, but looks like we're getting Batwoman, and then the one that's really kind of was not expecting is the character known as Killer Moth, which is not a well-known character even in, you know, the world of comic books. So definitely kind of my hats off to Spin Master for doing such an obscure character like that. And again, that's a single pack figure. And then for you Marvel Legend fans, I have a few more rumors for you guys. So I don't have a lot of specific details, and this information comes via some additional distributor listings. Once again, a thanks to JT Prime for the heads up on these. So basically, I talked about some of these last week, things like the Eternals wave, which is kind of a no-brainer, as well as a new Venom wave that's coming. Still don't have any specific details of what figures are going to be in those waves. And then it looks like I also last week talked about the Avengers wave with the video game figures in it. And it looks like there's actually going to be two waves, Avengers waves, that are going to have video game figures in it released this year. I have no details at this time of any of the figures in the second wave. You know, the first wave was rumored, well, we know it's going to have Iron Man, and then likely going to have video game versions of Captain America and Miss Marvel. And then what I'm assuming are comic book versions of characters like Rage from New Warriors, Mach 1 from Thunderbolts, the Hulk's arch nemesis, the Leader, and then Captain Marvel. That's the rumored first wave of Avenger figures. But then again, there is supposed to be a second wave coming this year as well, but I don't have any details on what figures will be in that. And I still don't know if there's going to be any Build-A-Figures with these. Probably, I would think there would be, but I have no details on any Build-A-Figures for either of the Avengers waves. And then also, I think I mentioned this last week, that it looks like there's going to be at least 4 fan channel exclusives released this year. And then a second wave, at least one more wave of Rider Series figures, the deluxe figures with the bikes and stuff. So the first wave of this year with the Cosmic Ghost Rider and the Squirrel Girl, those are actually starting to hit shelves now, but then there's going to be at least one more wave of those released this year with the vehicles and such. And then one final one, which is listed as an exclusive Avengers figure called the Mechanic. Now, the Mechanic, I'm pretty sure, is just a code name, sometimes so that it doesn't reveal the actual figure. They give these code names. I have no idea what the Mechanic could be referring to. It looks like this is going to be an exclusive figure. This could even be, maybe in reference to the GameStop exclusive Hulk figure, even though I don't know why they would use the word Mechanic with Hulk. But I just wanted to share that. And that one, their indications should be as started to hit the shipping ports already, which probably means it's going to be out very soon, probably next month. So, we'll probably find more out about whatever this figure is very soon. But I just wanted to share those with you. Again, none of this stuff has been officially confirmed by Hasbro, so do treat it as rumors. But, it seems like pretty good indications that this information generally pans out, so I wanted to go on and share it with you now. Okay, and then for you Star Wars fans, I have another rumor, something that hasn't actually been announced or confirmed by Hasbro, but it's a new listing that showed up in the EB Games computer system, and this comes via Toy Time, who hooked us up with the SKU number for it. And it appears that we're going to be getting a 6-inch Black Series Imperial Probe Droid figure, probably in conjunction with the celebration of Empire Strikes Back. Now, I don't think this is the first time we've seen this figure pop up in a computer store listing. I believe Target was the first place that this showed up, so this just kind of further confirms that we are going to be getting, one of these kind of vehicle type, larger scale figures in the Black Series line. Hopefully it'll be very detailed, much more so than, say, the 3 3/4 inch versions that they've done in the past. And I'm sure it's going to have some type of figure stand and such. So, no idea on exactly when this will be released, possibly as early as late February. That's what it was listing in the computer, but, being a Hasbro hasn't even officially announced this yet, I don't know if it'll actually see release that early. But if not released by then, we should probably definitely see it next month at Toy Fair, which kicks off on Saturday, February 22nd. So if you haven't already, you should definitely be marking your calendars for that. That's the day where we'll probably see the vast majority of stuff, including all the Hasbro reveals. So that's, and you'll want to keep it to the websites because that's where the images and information will first go up. For Transformers fans, I don't really have anything on the toy front to share with you guys today, but news did come out this week that it looks like Hasbro is going to be doing, along with Paramount, 2 new Transformer movies. So not 1, but 2. And indications are that one of the 2 movies is actually going to be based on Beast Wars, not G1. So I think that's had a lot of fans of the Beast Wars property out there, pretty excited. Again, we don't have a lot of details or anything, but it does look like Hasbro is going to be moving forward with not just 1, but 2 new Transformer movies in the near future. Okay, and then the final bits of news I have for you guys today comes on the McFarlane Toys front. So first of all, McFarlane last week posted this little teaser, maybe a teaser, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading a little too much into it. But, from what I gathered when I first saw this post on his social media feed, my first thought was he's teasing a new Spawn figure. So in it, he talks about the Ninja Spawn character, which recently came back in issue 301 of Spawn. So it's possible that's merely what he was plugging. He loves to plug the Spawn comic book on his social media feeds. But what made me think that he also might be hinting about an action figure is he shows a picture. He talks about the original Ninja Spawn action figure, shows an image of that original figure, and then talks about how, whether life imitates art or art imitates life. And, could this be the beginning of something new? Kind of is the gist of the post. So again, I don't know for sure. If you caught my interview with Todd a couple weeks ago, he talked about doing new articulated Spawn figures. It's unclear exactly how many he has planned. We know he's got the Mortal Kombat one from the new Mortal Kombat 11 video game, which I have some news for you to share as well today. But, beyond that, we really don't know much of his exact plans. But, I'm wondering if he's teasing that we might be getting an updated Ninja Spawn figure sometime this year. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll have more details on this at Toy Fair next month. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. And then the big news is, I told you about this last week that there was going to be a new articulated Spawn figure coming in the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 7-inch scale action figure line. If you're not familiar, Spawn, I believe it's in March, is going to be a playable character that you can do in the new video game. And because McFarlane has both the Mortal Kombat license and the Spawn license, or Spawn creator obviously has the license, but because he has both of those, basically they're incorporating an action figure version of Spawn from the video game into the Mortal Kombat line. Now, initially, the news that I had given you last week did not include any images, but apparently there was an image in the actual physical previews magazine, and that has now hit the internet. I don't know where this image originated, and it gives us our first look at the actual Spawn figure. So you can see it does have added articulation, very similar to the Fortnite, DC Multiverse, Mortal Kombat figures that they've been doing. Looks like he's got some type of sword. I don't know if this is all the accessories that will be included with the figure or what. There's not a lot of details listed with it, but again, it is our first actual look at the figure. If you're a Spawn fan, I think this year is a year that you're going to have at least this figure, if not more, to be excited for. Okay, so that's it for today. Again, if you have questions for David Vonner for my next interview, let me know in the comments section below, and then let me hear your thoughts on everything I talked about today. As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to head over and sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, as well as checking out our latest contest for the $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.